Okay, so Travis, what's been going on lately, man?
Man, everything. I was just saying, man, it's you always think life's going to slow down, but on an awesome note, action sports. I feel like with Nitro Circus and all the guys that we have working, between the live tours and doing the TV and just in so many different avenues, and even we're just up having a toy meeting talking about all this different stuff, and now for me, like going to business meetings and going to Target headquarters and all this stuff. It's stuff that I never really thought I'd be doing, but it's awesome because I get to do it with all my friends and kind of travel around, and it's cool to see the progression, the evolution, just the riders coming now. I mean, our Willie was at my house last week, and who thought of my jaw would be dropped all the time for a scooter rider? I mean, something I never thought I'd say. Pretty amazing.
So, the inaugural Nitro World Games just wrapped up. They're officially in the books now. How was the event through your eyes? It
was actually a miracle that it was pulled off. So it was kind of, we've been talking about it for 5-6 years, and we're doing, I say we, the collective we, when Josh Sheehan is doing a triple backflip in the backyard, and then on a 250-pound motorcycle, do 100 feet in the air, and then you go to X Games and he wins X Games with a double flip. You're like, wait a minute. And then, you go and you get Jed Milton quadruple flips off of a 23-foot tall takeoff. And then a double flip is really hard at their biggest contests. And we always said, man, we got to get it to where the level of the ramps and what they're able to do at the biggest events match what the riders are capable of. So, we started working on just safety and all this stuff. And when World Games, we had about 6 months to put it together. And a lot of the big names were like, look, we don't even have a landing for this. I've never tried this jump. And they kind of sat back, but it was awesome because it gave an opportunity for motocross stars like Greg Duffy. He's like, I got bike control. He goes, I'll hit that curb at the top of that ramp and see if I can hang on. Like, let's figure this stuff out. And, the Harry Binks, who qualified as an alternate and then goes out and gets 4th in freestyle and then 4th in best trick. And, the list goes on and on of guys that came out and really did amazing stuff. So I couldn't have been more proud of the guys that stepped up and the safety that we were able to put in, and as much flack as we got for it's not real unless it's to a dirt landing or this and that. The BMX guys, 6 guys in the final learned triple backflips in the final. Never landed one before, and they all rode away. Not one injury through 3 hours of, it was like 50 world's first or something, whatever they're, I don't know. It's just crazy. Everybody that did a trick, pretty much it was something that never been written out before. And, for me, that's what we want. We don't want every event. We just want the big air. We want the stuff that's the biggest, the craziest, the most cutting edge ramps. It's basically like 3 hours of just in your face ADHD craziness. And it worked out great.
It did. So ultimately, did you have a specific goal or purpose behind the Nitro World Games?
World Games for me were always about seeing how far we could push things and having a world championship caliber event on live TV that felt to the riders like they weren't waiting for camera, they weren't waiting for TV. We might have gone a little fast. Honestly, a lot of the people at home, I knew all the riders and what they were doing, and it was awesome to see everything come to fruition. But we might have, the qualifiers are going to be open qualifying for longer. I felt like there's a lot of guys that couldn't get to some of the events, the qualifying events that we had. There's a lot of guys that were afraid to. We're like, we're going to die. And then after seeing an event where, like I said, not one single injury. We had one concussion in practice, but that was the triple hit, which was our most basic setup, just because we didn't have the resi landings on that because it was requested that we didn't put it there. But I think we have a lot to learn. The skating, I definitely let those guys down with the ramps that we built there. I don't skate. It's not what Nitro had really been focusing on. But just this morning, Elliott Sloan had come out. Jake Brown was here. Trey was on a conference call. They're coming out to my house next week, where we're really gonna build an entire new skate setup. And I feel like for me, it's really cool to be able to work with the best in the world from within Nitro and outside of Nitro, and now to have a platform that the best in the world are excited to come to us and say, hey, I was thinking of a 1080 or a quadruple backflip or whatever it might be. They come to Nitro first, and for me, that's really cool because they think we can help them do it without killing themselves.
That's always good.
Yeah, usually a good thing.
So with that said, and like you said a little while ago about the ramps being up to par with the skills of the riders now, do you think the ramps and landings that you guys had set up played a pivotal role in what was pulled off that night?
Without a doubt. Everyone says, "Oh, it's a ceiling. Freestyle can't go any further," and I'm like, "Yeah, it can, but it has to be matched. You can only flip a 250-pound motorcycle so fast, or spin it so fast, or move your body around so fast. So you need more airtime, and to have more airtime, you need more speed, and which is normally associated with more danger. But maybe we do it to a bigger step up. Maybe we have twice as big of a jump, and then your sweet spot is actually longer. It's honestly safer." But we started, and everyone that showed up at the event was freaking out. We had a 14-foot tall takeoff. It's 80 degrees. They're like, "Dude, it's like a vertical wall." And Josh Sheehan, he came out and giggled. He just hit it, double backflipped his first time. Like, warm-up jump was a double backflip. He's like, "Yeah, guys, my triple flip ramp was 44 foot tall." So we have a long way that we can go, but we have to build up to the rider's comfort level. We can't just go to Josh Sheehan's. Josh Sheehan worked 3 years nonstop on this trick, and if you're going 100 feet in the air, we're not going to have room for anything else on the floor. But it gives us a lot of opportunity and stuff that we can do in the future. And the BMX will be bigger. The moto, our main thing right now is working on the half pipe, to where you can get the height of Renner, what he got a couple years ago in the Red Bull thing. And when I watched the events that are now, it was awesome to see Paget with the front flare. It was like, blew my mind. It was so cool to see. And he came over and was talking so much crap on our cheetah ramps that we were using for the shows, and then he goes and builds one for a flare and does that, and Red Bull actually put it in their event, I thought, which was really cool. I'm not sure the front flip ramps are the way to go, but for me as a rider, it opened up so much excitement. It's harder to do a front flip off the kicker, front flip kicker, than it is to a back flip with just a standard ramp. So it doesn't just set you down, it just opens a whole new area that, not to take anything from Jacko and Paris Rosen and the guys that did a true front flip, but it opens it up, and I think it'll be something hopefully for the future, but if not, worth experimenting.
Yeah. Do you see those ramps moving on to different events like X Games or anything like that?
No, I don't see the front flip kicker ever moving to X Games. It might, but I kind of doubt it, at least not for the foreseeable future. And that was honestly something that we brought in for the show aspect, for Nitro, because Paris Rosen came up with it, and I'm like, well, it might or might not go into contests for the future, but if we can do front flip variations and make it easier and safer to do. Not easy, it doesn't do it for you. It's like hitting a curb. It's like a kicker on top of a jump. When you sometimes you go over the bars and you just go with it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not easy by any stretch of the imagination. And landing a front flip's completely blind. Like, front flips are sketchy. But it has opened up a whole new avenue of ways for a guy that's coming in to go, okay, Josh Sheehan's been backflipping for so long, he's been working so hard, and this is rock solid backflip like Taka and these guys. Dude, it's going to take me a long time to get the tricks to that level, but I can come in and the front flip's new. I can get to the top on a best trick format like this. So I think it opens up a platform, and it's fun.
Cool.
That's kind of why we started freestyle.
Exactly.
If you want to, I don't know, it's a catch-22. If you want to go out and be the best, do something with a checkered flag. If you want to go out and have a lot of fun, do freestyle. And you know what? I want to continue freestyle and keep building it and keep making it more fun and more exciting. And there has to be a best. Everyone wants to know who the best is, but at the same time, it's how do you judge style and expression? And I argue internally all the time with the guys. I'm like, look, we're providing them a platform to do stuff. Hopefully, that's never been done, and we'll keep doing that. And the World Games are a place for that. But there's no checkered flag, so it's always going to be, I shouldn't say biased. So we make it as unbiased as possible. This is the most open contest in the world, but
right.
It's it's judged, and it's always a tough deal.
Right. Did you have a favorite trick of the night or event of the night or anything?
My favorite event, and a lot of it was because TJ Lavin was announcing, was BMX, and we were up until like literally 2 o'clock that morning trying to figure out the landing and what we were going to do, because everything came together so fast, and something that we had built didn't make it to the show, and we ended up going with the softer landing than we had intended. And guys like Jed the Warrior Milden were like, he's done a quadruple backflip to wood. He's like, that's too soft. But when everyone just started hucking and doing stuff and landing and riding out of stuff that should never, it can't be done on video games. And TJ Lavin, who's been a BMXer his whole life, is standing up just screaming, laughing, giggling like a little schoolgirl. For me, I mean, that's kind of what freestyle's about. It's like they had the video game and they were like just hitting all the buttons, and they were riding out of it, and that was really cool. So we'll go back a step and not have it quite as soft next year, but we're gonna go bigger. Every event's gonna get bigger, and for me, the best thing was seeing the camaraderie and the guys up on top. It's something I hadn't seen in action sports in a while because everyone's so scared of dying or trying something. They're not sure if they crash, they're like, shoot, I'm going to the hospital, I'm breaking my back, I'm breaking my neck. At World Games, no one was really concerned about getting, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not safe, but most of the guys weren't concerned about getting hurt. They were concerned about doing the tricks and having fun, and I've never seen so many competitors since maybe the first X Games high-fiving each other, hugging each other, and that energy is what I wanted to bring, and that's, I feel like, is what the safer landing ramps did. Now, my most exciting part about being here at Nitro and being able to have this kind of in my opinion, it's almost like the World Championship's a big air. We're not trying to be everything to every sport, but to give the riders the opportunity to come out here and build their own ramps, test their own stuff. They weld, come on out to the house. We'll do it together, man. We'll build this stuff. All the moto guys always working on the landings and trying to figure out the best angles. And if they have an idea, to come to us and we'll try to make it happen for you guys. And that's, I think, what's really neat is to have that the course every year evolves based on how the riders are evolving and what they want to see, and to give them the opportunity to do stuff that's never been done before. Because at the end of the day, in my opinion, action sports isn't about pointing your toes and doing stuff more perfect. It's about doing stuff that's never been done. So
right.
that's what this event is for.
Cool. So anything else you want to add to the second Nitro World Games that are coming up?
Second Nitro World Games, we'll see how the riders adapt. I've been working on a quarter pipe basically for really since Renner started doing with the Red Bull No Limits events. Not the New Year's, but yeah, he had been doing a lot of stuff, and just seeing the height that he got out of that, and going, okay, skateboards and bicycles are going 20 foot, 30 foot above the takeoff, and dirt bikes are going 5 and 8 foot above the takeoff. That's embarrassing for me as a dirt bike rider. So my goal is to work on that. Whether the guys will have enough time to want it in for the contest this year, I'm not sure, but we're building it, and I think that's something that is going to be really cool. And then as it progresses, hopefully take this and have some more. The freestyle is going to continue to get bigger. This year we're going to keep it the same just because we have so many guys that were afraid to even hit it last year, and just try to evolve with the riders. So I think it's going to be great.
And you're still going to have open qualifiers and stuff?
Open qualifiers, what's really great, we haven't finalized yet, but March 1st, basically all these ramps that we've been designing and talking about and we're going to be building until then, basically all through Christmas and the holidays, all goes up, and it'll be in a location for any rider that basically isn't going to kill themselves to come out. Well, we all have a chance to kill ourselves, but any rider that's signed off on and can hit the stuff and has a chance to be a part of a world championship caliber event can come out and can come practice, and in all the sports in all the same spot. And we'll have TV basically out there at all times filming everything in the 3 months coming up. So any up and comer, it could be a 50-year-old, it doesn't matter, but anyone that's willing to go out there and do stuff that's never been done, it's documented, it's all put out there. These guys can build their brand and build themselves from wherever their current level is, and if they work hard enough, they can get in and they will have a chance to qualify to go to the Nitro World Games and to have live NBC coverage and everything else. So I think that's what's a little different about our event, is that it's an open.
Right. Awesome. Well, Travis, we thanks for taking some time to sit down with us, and we look forward to the next one. We'll see you next time, buddy.
All right, 10-4. Thanks, bud.